Our case number 1 is 20-year-old boy with NYC23 symptoms and with the pedal edema. These are the video images. So what are the echo findings? What differential comes to the mind? And what next you want to look into the echo? So whenever you are commenting on the echo clips, first diagnose the view and then focus on the findings step by step on each structure. As we see in this view, this is the parasternal long axis view with the septum having the jerky movement called as the septal bounce. RV function seems to be normal. LA is grossly enlarged. I should use the pointer. Here's a pointer to show you. Now I think it is more clear. This is the parasternal long axis view with a grossly looking normal RV function. The septal movement is little jerky. Aortic valve checking with normal mobility. The LA is grossly enlarged. In this view, how can we comment the LA enlargement? By comparing it with the ascending aorta. And the LV function seems to be the normal. In the other view, it is the subcostal view. How you do diagnose the subcostal view? By having the appearance of the liver anteriorly. And then it is RV, it is RA, it is septum. Now, it is you look at the septal movement along with the jerky movement, there is a shift of the septum from RV to the LV. And it is called as a septal shift. And this is called as a septal bounce. So when such movement occurs, what differential comes to the mind? The first of all should be the constrictive pericarditis. And what next you want to look into the echo for assessing further the constrictive pericarditis? You must have the view of the inferior vena cava. This is also the subcostal view. You have the clear image of the inferior vena cava that is dilated and non-collapsing. Normally it is the normal size, means less than 2 cm with the collapsing with the respiration. And what next you want to see in this patient? The mitral inflow pattern. You can see in this view the mitral inflow pattern, the E to A ratio is 1.57 and the E to E prime ratio is just 4. E prime, septal E prime is around 15. Means the pattern is of the pseudo-normal of the grade 3 but with the normal E prime velocity. This is called as the annular paradox. Next thing you want to look into the mitral inflow is the respiratory variation in the E velocity. You can appreciate in this the E velocity is 0.57 maximum and the 0.34 minimum. You have to calculate the difference and then divide it by the smallest one and get the percentage of the variation. And this view is a pulse wave Doppler of the hepatic vein. For the confirmation of the CPC, you have to look the diastolic flow reversal into the hepatic vein, especially during the expiration. This is a spirometer attached at the spectral Doppler. This peak is the inspiration and trough is the expiration. You can appreciate clearly in this view that there is a big reversals during the expirations. Means expiratory diastolic flow reversals. So our diagnosis is constrictive pericarditis. Now I will show you this chart how to systematically approach the patient with suspicion of the constrictive pericarditis. First you have to look at the mitral inflow. E to A ratio should be 0.8, more than 0.8 with the dilated inferior vena cava. If any one of this is not present, means constriction or restriction is unlikely. And if these both are present, then you have to look the ventricular septal motion abnormalities that we have discussed in the views, like the septal bounce and the septal shift. If the septal abnormalities are present, yes, then go for the mitral septal E prime velocity. If not septal abnormalities present, the further imaging required for the diagnosis. And if the septal abnormalities are present, then you have to look for the septal E prime velocity. If it is more than 8, means likely it is a constrictive pericarditis. If it is reduced between 6 to 8, mixed pathology can be present. If it is less than 6, means it is restrictive cardiomyopathy. Once you look at the mitral medial E prime means septal E prime, then look at the mitral lateral E prime velocity. Normally what happens, the lateral E prime velocity should be more than the septal E prime velocity. But in the constrictive pericarditis, it become reversed. Means the lateral E prime become less than the septal E prime. And it is called as a annular reversal. If this is present, that means most likely the constriction. And for the confirmation, you have to look at the hepatic veins expiratory and diastolic reversals. If these are present, we have the diagnosis of definitive constriction. So in our case, we have a case of the definitive constrictive pericarditis. I think it's clear to anyone. If anyone want to further ask the question, he can write into the comments. We will reply on that. Now comes to the second case. What is the view and the findings and what differentials come to the mind? What is the view? Again, the subcostal view because the liver is appearing in this view. And what is this? Inferior vena cava or the abdominal aorta? Most people get confused in this whether it is IVC or it is the abdominal aorta because they are running very close to each other. How can you differentiate between the IVC and the abdominal aorta? Abdominal aorta is pulsatile with each beat. It is thick walled and we will have the branches of the celiac artery and of the abdominal aorta. And for the IVC should be thin walled, it should be collapsing with the respiration and the hepatic veins opening into this. So in this view, this is the abdominal aorta and you can appreciate this, it is highly pulsatile abdominal aorta. Normally the red colors appear in the abdominal aorta, but this in views you can appreciate the red with the blue colors. And this image is a pulse wave at the level of abdominal aorta. And what it's showing, it is a forward flow, normal, and this is the holodiastolic flow reversal. Normally in the abdominal aorta there should be no holodiastolic flow reversal, but there is the diastolic flow reversal and throughout the diastole means the holodiastolic flow reversal. And then what differentials comes to the mind? When you see the holodiastolic flow reversal in the abdominal aorta, you must think about any pathology causing the shunting of blood from the aorta to the right side, whether the RA, RV or the pulmonary artery. So what differential means severe aortic regurgitations, means the blood is shunting in the diastole from aorta to the LV. Other differential means the PDA, and there is the ruptured sinus of Valsalva aneurysm. For the diagnosis, you have to look at the other views. This is the parasternal long axis view of the same patient. What it is showing? It is showing the normal size RV, hugely dilated LV, with aneurysmal formation of the right sinus to Valsalva, with the retracted right quadraticus, causing the non-coapting aortic valve, likely causing the severe AR. And there is also a small VST. Actually, the sinus of Valsalva was trying to close this VST, and that caused a distortion of the aortic valve. Along with this, you can clearly appreciate the dilatation of the left atria. Now you need the color images on this. Clear images, the systolic flow across this VSD and the diastolic flow reversals through the aortic valve. So it is the case of the severe aortic regurgitation along with the VST.